connection.
Reserve time.
MSS is casting right now.
Oh,
Dire team.
interesting. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Starladder Season 8, Day 28 coverage here on Beyond the Summit. We've got Game 3 of 4 coming up for you here. SSD facing off against Next.kz. This match, another decider for that potential top 4. SSD still technically in the running, and if Next.kz can dethrone them here, that will end their run in this tournament. I am Zyori. With me once again is Fogged, and this should be another interesting game. Fogged, how are you, pal?
Doing pretty good. Just watching my, just took a glance over at the joint Dota stream to watch my my teammate MSS casting for the first time.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing better than myself. I made the mistake of I went downstairs to get a glass of water, and it appeared that there was a big thing of oatmeal there. So I thought, hey, I'm hungry. Maybe I get a little oatmeal, nibble in between matches. After putting on some cinnamon and eating it, I realized that it is actually home-cooked dog food, and it was pretty disgusting. There is some... It is like a barley-looking grain mixed with some mysterious meat in some sort of a porridge-looking substance, and it tastes like freaking dog food. So,
That sounds terrible, but hilarious. I'm sorry.
it's pretty funny. I mean, you know, it's more of an easy thing to do around here than it may sound. Of course, my parents are veterinarians, so we do a lot of home cooking for our dogs, you know, and
Yeah.
the dogs eat better here than some people eat at home. You know, we like buy steak and chop it up for them and grind our own meat and shit. So it's a mistake that can be made, and it's probably like healthy food, but god damn, does it taste bad.
I just love how at least you put the effort to putting the cinnamon on.
I was like getting really excited about, oh yeah, somebody has oatmeal, so didn't work out so well.
That's pretty good.
So, looks like SSD, similar flavor to yesterday, and they are going to have 2 speed stand-ins. So they see Bone 7 there, and of course we saw last game the Aubrey Plaza is Mr. Pylai Die. So they are not using the 3 stand-ins. They do have 3 original members. We see Zai, Come With Me, and Arise, members of the original SSD roster. So not quite as clowny as yesterday. But,
Next really like their Slark.
yeah, they do. Second game in a row, they'd first pick it.
Interesting.
Kind of weird. It's strange because I don't know. I wish I could just ask one of these guys real quick on Skype, like why are you first picking Slark? Because I just don't think he's first pick material, mostly because is there a chance that this other team is going to pick Slark? Like most teams are not really that keen on grabbing a Slark early in the draft. I feel like there are scarier, more effective heroes in the pool. Like even first picking a Crystal Maiden might have worked better here because I just don't see SSD grabbing Slark that early in the draft.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really understand the point of grabbing it so early if you're not worried about the other team getting it at least.
Yeah. Not the biggest fan, but we'll see how it works for him. Slark can certainly get out of control. He's not a bad hero by any means. That's not really what I'm trying to imply, but I don't know. I think he's too much of a risk. I don't think he brings enough to the table to warrant the risk of he's such a snowball hero. He's like Tusk, you know. That's how I in my head I keep them in a pretty similar little group of just like they can be really dirty if they get a little bit of early momentum, but if they fall off, they don't really have a great recovery farming mechanism, and they just become useless too quickly. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I like the hero, but I don't like it first pick.
Yeah.
So SSD pick up a Chen.
Very nice. Chen is another one that's really fallen off in popularity.
Yeah, the hero's incredibly strong.
Yeah.
Especially if you have like a very good lineup to win early. The hero excels.
Yeah. Why has Chen fallen off so much, honestly? He used to be like that first ban, first pick material, and now teams, like, you see him kind of sprinkled in here and there, and that's it.
I think it depends on the team specifically, but I mean, like, I guess one of the, like Fnatic and, like, Navi and stuff haven't really been running as much Chen as they used to, but they've been picking a lot of Enchantress. So, maybe more early aggression, trying to come
Yeah.
out with the 2 creeps and everything, and even keep it as like a carry instead of just having yourself just be locked in that position of being, just a Chen.
Right. I guess that's true. And one of the other things, you need a solid Chen player. You need somebody that's really experienced and knows what they're doing. Not the
Yeah,
easiest
'cause
hero to
we
execute.
still see Alliance picking it up a lot, even early. Yesterday they picked it up first 2, I think, one of the games they were
Yeah.
playing. So
They did, actually. That's a good point. I think I said the same thing yesterday, too. Just like, oh, Chen, that's a nice change of pace. Haven't
Yeah.
seen that guy in a while.
I guess it's just if it's in your comfort zone and you play with it a lot and whatnot, it's definitely a really strong hero to have in your arsenal.
Yeah. So Weaver going to be the 4th pick for SSD, and not a bad game for Weaver. He does tend to thrive in games where there aren't a lot of hard crowd controls, and disruption, I don't know if that really counts in terms of Weaver. You need to stun lock him and do damage before you can time lapse or Shikuchi away. Shadow Demon doesn't really do much on that front. Slark it doesn't really either. I mean, you can time lapse out of the pounce, and you can't Shikuchi out of it, but still you get that bit of invisibility. Lesh going to help solve some of that issue with a stun, but more so the pairing with the Shadow Demon is what's particularly potent here. Kind of an old school combo.
Yeah, and if they do have the Invoke Go Exort as well, they have the Soul Catcher with the Disrupt and everything, so Sunstrike's going to be hitting pretty hard.
Yeah, that's fair enough. If they can get off a nice Shadow Demon Lesh combo and then coordinate an Invoker Sunstrike on top of it, that is a pretty dead-looking Weaver, I think. So
yeah,
that's I see the synergy lining up there. So when you're drafting a Slark onto your roster, what position do you like Slark in? Are you like an off-lane Slark kind of guy? Are you a position 1 kind of guy?
I don't know. I'm really not sure. I haven't fooled around with the hero as much as I would have liked to. I mean, I have in the past in Dota 1 and everything, but it's so different in Dota 2 that, I mean, I don't know. I don't really like him as a 1, as a hard carry, but I don't know how I feel about him as a mid, if he's not versus something that he can punish like a melee hero. I mean, if he's versus a melee mid, then he can go ape shit, honestly. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's my biggest beef with him. I just don't think he really fits into any lanes particularly well. As I said, in the off lane, I think there are heroes better suited for it. In the 1 position, there are certainly heroes better suited for it. And same story for the mid lane. I don't know. I don't value him in the draft that highly because he has just a unique role, but not unique enough. And I honestly don't like his ult that much. I don't think being undetectable is that huge of a game changer. Like, it makes him harder to lock down. It makes him more slippery. Like, he can escape some situations where other heroes certainly would have fallen, but it's not like one of those amazing abilities that wins games in most cases.
Yeah, he still gets hit by AoE spells.
Yeah,
and so,
exactly.
I mean,
It's not. It was weird. Like, I don't even know if they needed to keep him out of captain's mode as long as they did after they changed him. I think they could have left him in, and it would have been A-okay. Not even close to the level of Broodmothers.
If he snowballs, though, he gets incredibly powerful.
Oh, yeah.
And he ruins the game for your supports. Like, if he gets a Lothars, he can just go around killing people super early alone.
Yeah.
And he's pretty hard to kill if you don't have the right heroes to lock him down. We see Doom picked up by Next.kz again, so...
Yeah, they love themselves some Doom, that's for sure. They really do like that Doom pick, and it looks like it will be a 1-position Doom once again. This is a pretty similar lineup to what we saw before. It looks like it'll be Slark in an off lane, Doom in position 1, being played by Equal once again, and Wadafaka gonna be on the Invoker here, headed to the mid lane. So on the Dire side, they did actually last pick the Storm Spirit, so I think undoubtedly here, Storm will be headed to the mid lane. And speaking of Storm Spirit, I'd be curious to get your opinion. Did you didn't happen to catch Game 1 today, did you? The Fnatic match?
No, I caught the very end of it. I saw Era was playing it.
Yeah, what do you think about Era's position 1 Storm Spirit? That's a nice change of pace, a little different from the solo mid Storm that we're used to.
I think it can work, but it's very dangerous to do because if they even see that coming at all and they aggressive tri-lane when you end up having a Storm in like a tri-lane, it's devastating.
Yeah, I can see that. It's when you can get away with it, though. Era really seems to execute it pretty well. He gets that bit of farm, and right around that level 8, level 9 mark, he just starts moving around, and more often than not, if he can grab a kill sometime around that window before level 11,
yeah.
he
That's
takes
another
off.
reason why I don't know how I feel about the position 1 Storm, because I mean, if you're position 1 Storm, you want to be farming and get your items up quickly and everything, but Storm at level 6 and everything is such a good ganker that you get a little, you miss out on farming a little bit by going for these ganks and stuff.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Yeah, that's very true. So we will see some
Oh,
action down here in the
Zai.
bottom. Oh, Zai going to be in some trouble. He already skilled reactive armor. Oh boy, that's going to be an easy first blood for Next.kz. They will grab the rune as well, which will be a haste. Oh man, that's a disaster. And with a haste rune, they might actually be able to grab another kill here, potentially. Lesh going to be the one to pick it up. Actually did skill the Split Earth level 1, not the Edict.
Yeah. And it's going to be annoying for that storm early on.
Yeah, Reeve's just going to make his life a lot more difficult. We see the cancel casting already, adding some additional harassment. So let's introduce these rosters here, see what everyone's laning. On the Radiant side, we do have Next.kz. Down bottom, it will be Amazing on the Shadow Demon. Going to be supporting his friend Mantis here in the safe lane. Mid, it is going to be Reeves on the Leshrac for now. And Whatafaka going to be playing on the Invoker. They have sacked the offlane, and right now they do have Jungling Doom being played by Equal. So absolutely no offlane. They're just going to let it free farm. And that is going to be at least a bit of good news for SSD. They will have Zai playing in the bottom lane here on the solo Timbersaw. In the mid, Arise going to be on the Storm Spirit. Then up top, it will be a free-farming Bone 7 playing on the Weaver. And in the jungle, we are going to have the other stand-in, Pylai Die on Crystal Maiden, just jungling away. And of course, Come With Me on the Chen. No doubt going to be spending some time in the jungle here. So, as we saw, Next.kz off to a pretty solid start, picking up that first blood, and that bonus did go the way of Shadow Demon, so he's got a pair of boots already.
Hmm.
How about that?
So, yeah, Crystal Maiden's just doing his jungling stuff right now. Weaver's got a full free farm lane. We have Bone 7 actually playing on that Weaver. That carry Bone 7.
Yeah.
You thought we'd see him on... I think people would think we were going to see him on Timbersaw, but Zai plays an amazing Timbersaw normally, so...
Zai is a surprisingly good off-lane player. And I say surprisingly because he has such a long history in Han. He stuck around in the Han scene for much longer than a lot of the other professionals that crossed over. And he plays a pretty mean Furion as well. We saw it yesterday, and it was pretty devastating.
Yeah, he's definitely a really good player. He knows what to do. He knows how to recover if anything goes wrong for him and everything. And since he's an offlane player, it's actually pretty nice. And we see a smoke coming out by the Leshrac and the Shadow Demon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zai's also one of those players that's so young that he's been around competitive gaming for so long that it's to be young and good at something.
Right.
I mean, he's like 15 or 16, man. He's really young.
Yeah, man.
It's
insane. The good old days. Oh, and this smoke looks like it's going to be wasted.
Yeah, it looks like they're not going to be able to do too much with it. They will rotate down bottom. Maybe they can catch Zai. He is poking just a little bit far forward. He does have Timber Chain at level 2.
Uh-oh.
So there's the disruption. Split Earth going to come. Mantis going to be in a good position. Split Earth will connect. The Sunstrike on top of it. They will make it happen. So well done. That smoke not going to be wasted. They secure the kill. And Invoker going to be the one to grab it. So that is great. You know, some of the other things about the Invoker Sunstrike is it's great for him to get kills, but when he's mid, he can just kill in other lanes while he keeps farming. And it gives
he gets the levels from the kills, so...
Yeah, that's insane. Like, that is just so good.
It's really nice, and also... Amazing didn't even use Soul Catcher there. He was just confident, I guess, in getting the kill. Just put him under, and that's it. Oh, we see Pause coming out. Pause Gaming. You get flamed. Yeah.
I was muted on stream, so I typed. I was like, I'll reiterate. So I'm always surprised when I get like flamed for trying to emulate AC because I don't really try and emulate anyone. I have my own style. But when you think about it, AC is a BS in communications. He's worked at a radio station. He is like a true broadcaster. So to some degree, it's just like he doesn't like have a trademark on good broadcasting. You know, it's just such a weird like just trying to be AC. I'm like, actually, I'm just trying to be good at casting. I don't know.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah, haters gonna hate. That's the spirit. It's like a funny thing to flame. It's like almost a compliment in some ways, even though I think they mean it as an insult. But it's like he is a pretty legit broadcaster. He's like real radio experience. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
And right now, Shadow Demon and Leshrac are doing something. They're doing exactly what they should be doing. They're connecting the poles, getting maximum experience on their two supports, while Slark gets solo experience in the short lane. So
yeah.
they're actually getting a lot more out of this than the Dire is.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's about even because they have this. They have the Chen jungling. This is something I actually really like on Dire. Like, you don't have the best pull through and everything in comparison to the Radiant.
Mm-hmm.
So you pick up a jungler as well as having a regular support.
Wow, that's a big stack.
Yeah, that is a huge stack right
What
there.
are they gonna do with that? Who's gonna clear that?
Storm can, I mean, or he can just get a hopefully the
Yeah.
hopeful Wildkin.
A hopeful Wildkin. Oh yeah, I guess that's what he's doing. He's stacking and hoping for the Wildkin. It's true. That is one of those little pocket strats. That happened in a game where Doom was doing that, and I was solo casting and really confused, and LD had to PM me. He was like, dude, he's trying to get a Wildkin. It's not that crazy. At that moment of stupidity. But Reeves and Amazing, they're staying really aggressive here. They're going to smoke once again, and this time they do want to rotate towards the mid. And they want to drop this scary rotation onto Storm before he hits level 6. They are going to find him in the trees. Amazing just going to man up, and oh no, this is going to get turned around on. He will have to use the disruption on himself. Split Earth still going to connect. Sunstrike going to be off the mark. Now Arise going to be 6. He'll be able to scoot forward. Oh, geez, this is just a disaster. It's a 1 for 2. They get what they came for, but it's going to cost him big as Storm hits 6 and also grabs a double kill.
Yeah, that was really well played by Arise, using the fog there to his advantage, and then using the pull on them. And actually, he's clearing that big stack with the Satyr, not with the Wildkin right now.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, look at that. He's just going to use the Shockwave.
Radiant's top tower.
I always forget how low mana cost the Shockwave is.
Yeah, and how much damage it really does do.
Yeah.
And Bone 7's actually opted for the Midas, and they're going to pressure the top tower right now.
Yep, taking some heavy damage. And yeah, that is a really fast Midas. He started with the Guardian Ring, but basically about as fast as the Midas you can get here. Right around the 5-minute mark. That is pretty darn speedy.
Wait, what'd you call it? Guardian Ring?
Did I say? Oh, shit. Ring of Protection.
What the hell? I didn't even know what the hell that was.
Oh, God. That's what it's called in Han. All this Han talk got me all screwed up here.
Invoker's actually going for... He actually has his Midas coming out on the courier whenever it goes back to base as well.
Radiant's top
Yeah.
tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower has fallen.
So that's a top tier 1 tower down. This Weaver is going to be dirty. Look at that net worth chart. He's already off to the races. And Storm going toe-to-toe with this Invoker. So SSD really in a good spot here to get things started. And Next.kz don't have the best roster to deal with this Weaver. Of course, they do have Doom. He is considered a good counter to the Weaver. But, oh, down bottom. Disruption going to interrupt the Timber Chain. And that's going to be an easy kill. Not even going to need the Sunstrike.
And Chen, after clearing that big stack, actually, is picking up his Midas as well. So this is going to be Midas gaming.
Yeah. Yep, it sure is.
Some enjoyable Midas gaming.
Some good old.
But yeah, it's unreal how he
Midas.
he's doing this. He has a Satyr and he's clearing that big stack, and he got 0 Mud Golems. I would have gotten 3 Mud Golems there. He got Satyrs and Alpha Wolves.
That is pretty lucky. And oh, Mantis, maybe overcommitting down here. He is going to get disrupted. It'll keep him alive, but he's still pretty low health. It will also cost Amazing his life. And Mantis, I don't know if he's going to be able to survive this one. They will continue to pursue. There's the ultimate.
Looks like he's pretty dead.
Yeah, he's definitely going to go down here. Arise going to be a bit too speedy with that haste rune. No getting away from that. So a bit of an overcommit from Next.kz there. And SSD going to find the better of it for sure.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Let's take a glance at these gold graphs, and wow, SSD starting to run away with it here. About a 2,500 gold lead, somewhere about a 2,000 experience lead. That is not too shabby to get things started. And, yep, come with me with his Midas now complete in his inventory. Midas first on Chen.
I mean, he's getting good levels. He's level 7 already and everything, but, I mean, I don't see why not.
Yeah, it's true. One of those, when you're ahead, just get further ahead kind of strategies coming out.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he has the triple creep up now already. And if they get this Cohen Invoker, they are probably going to lose that tower.
Looks like there may be a wrap around here. Double Centaur, one set here.
Oh, he's in trouble. Oh, he's in big trouble.
He's in more than trouble. He is going to be dead. The creeps don't even really make it in time. Chen actually going to snake that last hit with the Shockwave there. That's still a great kill on the mid-hero. Now Equal going to be in big trouble. He's only level 5. Weaver going to catch him as well. And Doom is going to be slated to fall, I think. He does have the War Stomp and the Swiftness Aura. Does burn the stun, but just going to buy him a couple of seconds. Another 2 kills going the way of SSD. It's kind of impressive that they're able to be so aggressive and pick up kills despite having 2 Midas to their names. That Weaver in particular, he doesn't really have much, but he's still able to move around and pick up kills. You know that that's a bad sign when Weaver can go hand a Midas into Ring of Health and still move about and help assist in a couple of kills here and there.
Yeah. And Come With Me got a decent amount of damage on the tower. He's already up at level 8 now on the Chen as well. So it's looking pretty good for SSD right now. I mean, Mantis is getting good farm on the Slark. Doom's not doing too bad for himself, and the supports are doing pretty decent. The only thing going poorly for SSD, I'd say right now, is the Timber Sauce scenario.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But I guess, who do you compare him to here? The off lane was sacked for Next.kz, so I guess you sort of have to compare him to the Doom. And they're reasonably close with one another, about a 700 gold gap on the net worth. Could be a little bit worse. Zai, unfortunately, 0-3-3. He's conceded a few more deaths than would have been nice if he could have lived just a time or two more, perhaps. Be a bit more even, but his team making up for it here. Huge experience lead, and still hanging on to that gold lead.
I mean, at least the Timber Saw is level 6, getting close to level 7. So he had a little bit more levels than the Doom, but he did pay for it with giving them the gold from the deaths.
Yeah.
And they also took out his tier 1, so it's pretty even in comparison to Bone 7's lane.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Bone 7 now going to have himself a Perseverance, so going pretty much the greediest Weaver build you can. Still no boots, Midas first, and he can get away with it. Not a lot of pressure is coming his way, though that may change as they're starting to line something up. Meanwhile, in the mid, though, Fada going to be in some trouble here.
Fada,
I meant to say what the fuck. I told you I get those two confused. Mantis going to come in. He is going to pay for it. It will keep what the fuck alive. See, that's why I don't like it when they don't tag up. I know it's what the fuck up, but when you have to go on memory, sometimes the wrong words just
and you just
pop out.
casted Fada playing Invoker. So.
Exactly. Fada was on Invoker last game. It's rough.
Yeah, and now with another kill going down in middle, that was actually the Slarks. The Free Farmer died in mid, and now they're probably going to take this tower as well. But Doom's actually setting up, so never mind. They're actually going to back up.
Going to back off, but still, they're pulling more of the attention from Next.kz. Going to pull Doom out of the jungle. He's not going to be able to keep farming up, and we'll slow him down maybe a little bit here. Up top, Weaver going toe-to-toe with Reeves, and Reeves might be in a little bit of trouble here. Bone 7 will time-lapse back. Not going to man up into the tower. Definitely could have secured a kill, but doesn't have vision on the rest of the Radiant team, so doesn't want to get hyper-aggressive and overextend, certainly without any boots.
Yeah, Edict hurts.
Yeah.
Edict really does hurt, too. You have to be careful.
And right now, Lesh, what does he have? Level 3 Edict, level 6, doing a pretty standard Lesh build here, 3-3-0.
And Come With Me, honestly, he's probably going to be #1 net worth. He's going to pull ahead of... He could even pull ahead of Bone 7 at this rate, because he's going to have his mech already with his Midas.
Yeah, he's got Midas, and he has absolute free farm. I mean, he's just been uncontested and been able to participate in some of these kills. He is 1-0-1, so yeah, this is about as good of a start as Chen can ever hope for.
Yeah.
And is that his mech already coming out on the courier? No.
It really is. It's pretty soon, honestly. He has it, yeah. It's at base now. So that's pretty outrageously farm, having an 11-minute boots, Midas in your mech, and he's about to be level 10 as well. So he's doing really well in this gen right now.
Wow, that is the big disparity, I think, the experience chart. Look at that. We see a level 11 Storm Spirit, level 10 Weaver, and the highest levels on Next.kz are 9. That's going to be the Invoker as well as the Slark, both 9 apiece.
Yeah, and Slark's going for that Lothars that I was talking about. So if you can pick that up fairly soon, he can actually solo kill the Timbersaw continuously and just pick on him and not let him have a good game.
Yeah, the Shadowblade first on Slark is pretty solid. Does give him a lot more mobility, some gank ability, and that extra kind of survivability tool as well. When paired with the Pounce and the ult, really makes him a pain to deal with.
Yeah, and then he can just rush for like a BKB versus the team that he's against, and it's actually pretty decent.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the Shadowblade choice here. Or Lothars for all the hipsters out there.
Hipsters. Yeah, so Chen has his mech on him now. He's bringing his creeps back, and they're going to pressure mid. This Invoker might actually just get straight up dove right here.
Yeah, it looks like they do want to converge on him. Double damage rune activated on the Storm Spirit as well. That's going to be an easy kill. Down he goes. Does get an Ice Wall off. Has a couple of Forged Spirits still alive. Crystal Maiden going to take a couple of hits. Look at that. Zip away. Going to be able to juke the Split Earth. But wow, Timbersaw going to solo the Slark while that's happening.
Wow, that should not happen. That's not good for the Slark right there.
Yeah, that is bad news. Meanwhile, Amazing going to be in some trouble. Will get a disruption off onto a Rise. The Split Earth to follow up, but Amazing still going to be in big trouble. That double damage rune is on. There's the zip forward. Reeves in huge trouble. The Hand of God does come out, and Arise going to get healed up. He'll be just fine. Chen also does have his mech for good measure in case they need it. Dyer's Courier did get picked off in the fray. So a small positive here for Next.kz, and also Weaver. He's going to get killed. A lot of simultaneous kills happening right there.
Yeah, I was actually moving my screen around, so I actually got the glimpse of everything that was going on, at least. The Weaver just ran in and got doomed. He got greedy.
Okay, yeah. You're at that point now without boots. If you're doomed, you can't Chikuchi, and Doom can just track you down with the phase boots and Scorched Earth.
Yeah.
It's not too surprising.
And that was really interesting by the Slark. He was super close to his Lothars, and he went for a kill on the Timber Saw instead of just waiting for it, and got actually punished for it. So Zai pulling out. That was a really big kill for Zai, honestly. Now he's level 10.
Yeah.
So.
Sunstrike going to come in, not going to connect with much. Now they're going to hop forward. Arise going to grab Amazing. Split Earth going to fly, but not going to disable a hell of a lot. Next.kz with a lot of low health heroes here. Can SSD clean it up? And they will. Zai going to come in. Leshrac and Shadow Demon going to fall. What a fuck. Going to be in big trouble here. And Zai going to be off the mark with that Timber Chain. Probably would have been a kill. CM is going to fall, but they're going to grab the Invoker. Mantis going to go down as well. Right now it's a 1 for 4. Doom going to come into the mix. He wants to try and clean it up. Doesn't have an ultimate. Zai going to be able to Timber Chain back. Needs to be a little careful here. Going to do some fancy footwork. We'll suck up some wand charges, and it looks like he is going to survive. So, a 4 for 1 exchange for SSD here in the mid lane after knocking down that Tier 1 tower. And, of course, Bone 7 has just been farming away up top, doing more damage to this Tier 2.
Yeah. And Super Speed Gaming is just really pulling ahead on anything except for Bone 7.
Bone
oh, God.
7. Look at you with the aggression, my friend. Well, they're going to pay for it a little bit, I guess, but still.
Speak of the devil.
Yeah, the experience graph is what's scary, though. I mean, yeah, you know, 7,000 gold lead, that's pretty good, but somewhere like 11,000 experience here, 15 minutes, that is...
What did I say before? Let's take a look at this net worth graph, and who's on top?
Chen. Oh, there it is. Wow. So
Yeah,
what does Chen grab next here? That's my next question. He's got 2.5k sitting in the bank.
I mean, either he can get a Force Staff now, or he can just go for an Optimistic Hex, or even a, I don't know, Optimistic Lincolns. Who knows? he's pretty. He's got like free roam to really get anything he wants at this point.
Yeah. You like the Necro book on Chen? I know you're a big fan.
Yeah, I mean, Necro Book's just such a strong item, honestly. Then he goes for the Force Staff.
Yeah. All right. Gonna play it safe here. Not gonna do anything crazy.
I actually thought I was gonna see him go Book here. Huh, interesting. Lothar is being picked up by the Slark, Force Staff being picked up by the Invoker. Doom actually picks up Phase Drum, and it looks like he's going for a BKB next.
Interesting choice here.
Leshrac's getting all tanky up. He's got a Vitality Booster and Double Bracer. He just went for the Stun Edict build as well, so...
Seriously, Bracer Gaming over here. What is this? 5 bracers.
Bracer's own.
Apparently so. That's pretty impressive.
Storm's getting pretty close to his Zork. Get up on him as well.
Yep. And even Zai, he's getting pretty darn close to that Bloodstone.
Uh-oh. Pilot die, get out of there.
Uh-oh. Oh, Pylai dead. That's a pretty easy kill here for Next.kz.
Yeah, and as farmed as we were saying that Bone 7 was getting, I mean, he's not really that farmed anymore, because he's kind of dying. He died twice after all this free farm, and he went for this, you know, super greedy build.
Yeah. Well, he does almost have Lincoln's. Got the recipe, going to be about 500 off.
Nice deny by Arise.
The orb, yeah, oh wow. So we'll knock down that Tier 1 tower, though. Total tower count now will be 3 to 1, and it was denied, so still a huge disparity in favor of SSD. But, oh, wow, Arise just going to get dropped. They're going to burn the Doom ultimate to lock down the Storm Spirit. Sunstrike going to fly. We'll be off the mark. Chen's Force Staff already coming in handy. Mantis now going to pounce forward into the tower. Crystal Maiden going to burn the Freezing Field. Might cost him his life, though. Pylai die. Could turn into Pylai dead once again. Down he goes. Now come with me. Doesn't have the mech, nor the ultimate. Invoker, Cold Snap coming in. Force Staff will save him once again. Invoker not going to have his off cooldown. Now around the backside, Bone 7 going to come in. He's going to be able to clean up the Shadow Demon. Might be able to grab himself a kill onto the Doom as well. He does have the Lincolns now. Still no boots. Ooh, a regeneration rune. Maybe Bone 7 can grab it. Well, not going to grab it, but we'll be able to knock it off right away. While all that was happening, Zai did grab a kill onto the Slark. But now Bone 7, uh-oh. He's going to be able to time-lapse back. That Edict starting to melt him, but
yeah, it really is.
We'll survive. So there you go.
Yeah, Zai was just waiting up on the hill, and the Slark ran up and got comboed and blown up. So Zai is actually, like we were saying before, I mean, after this terrible start that he had before, he's going to have a Bloodstone with Arcane Boots almost at the 20-minute mark. So
yeah, he's really
doing very well.
He's just on point with the Slark on net worth, so that is definitely a quite the feat. The biggest gap between the farm of these players is Chen. He's the standout support here, and on the Radiant side, they've got Lesh, who's doing okay. He's at 4.3k, but that is nothing compared to the Chen, who's sitting at 8k net worth here at 19 minutes. And another 1,000 gold in the bank as he amasses yet another Chen army.
So Invoker's actually pulling a good amount of money. He's got with this Midas. He's got an ultimate orb already as well. And Chen actually opts for a early gem.
Interesting.
About a 20-minute mark gem.
Bit of map control, and I guess since Slark did go for the early Lothars, they want to have a tool to try and deal with him. And the Orchid is also up on Storm. There's that Bloodstone on Desire.
Oh, they're smoked up right now.
Uh-oh.
Arise, looks like he might be in trouble.
They do have a Doom ultimate. Yep. And he's going to fall. Not even going to need... Oh, they did burn the ultimate. There you go. I was going to say not even needing it, but looks like they did.
Oh, Zai might get caught out as well here.
Back-to-back kills onto Arise. Zai going to do a fair bit of damage while he tries to make his exodus. But now he's going to take a lot. The Edict going to come out. Crystal Maiden coming in. Going to be able to finish off the Lesh. Might be able to grab Shadow Demon as well. Zai at least going to make it a 2-for-1 before he goes down. But it is going to be a 2-for-2 as Pylai Dai going to end up in the danger zone as Slark rotates to finish him off. Well played by Zai right there, though. Ends up being a favorable exchange for Next.kz, but that Timbersaw showing us he's still got some skills to pay the bills.
Yeah, and the Leshrac actually, he used the Edict earlier on the Storm when they were killing him, so he didn't have Edict to go on the Timbersaw there. So he was actually just using his Pulse Nova, so it didn't burst him down quite fast enough. And Zai actually just basically got an instant respawn from that, so that's totally worth it for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, all the while, Weaver has just been farming in this top lane, still chipping away at this top tier 2, down to about 220 hit points or so. So is slowly but surely getting chipped away, and he will be able to finish it off before too long. Weaver's farm continuing to look pretty solid. He is #1 on the net worth chart, but not by much. Not that same disparity that it once was. Another 2,000 in the bank. Probably just going to grab himself some boots and then move into maybe a Desolator. That is the build I prefer on Weaver, but we'll see what he wants to grab.
Looks like Doom might get gone on here. Arise is looking for a setup.
And they're going to find it. There's the Orchid straight away. Doom's ulti coming up in about 5 seconds. They might be able to finish him down, but no, Arise going to get turned around on. Lesh has been on point with these split earths. And they will not only keep their Doom alive, but they'll turn it around, and Lesh going to walk away 1 kill richer. Well done.
And they're not, honestly, they're doing really well right now. They're catching up a lot. Lestrac's finding a good amount of farm. Slark just went for a solo kill on the Weaver and almost got him.
Yeah.
Invoker's getting a ton of farm. He's going to have a Hex pretty soon, honestly, on him. And yeah, they're doing pretty damn well.
They've got a chance here for sure. This Storm Spirit. Arise was like in such a great spot. He had all this momentum, and now he's just had back-to-back-to-back deaths. And that takes him down to 7, 4, and 6. And if you look at the net worth, he is really taking a nosedive. He was once at the top, and now he's down there with the supports, just slightly above Lesh.
Yeah, he's actually not doing so hot after he played really well in the beginning. I mean, he goes getting ganked, and he counter-ganked and got a double kill. So, he counter-killed him. So it was pretty nice. And Zai is just taking over their jungle and farming in there right now, so...
Yeah.
He's doing pretty well for himself as well.
The Invoker is the scariest part of this. If he grabs a sheep stick, he's already picking up a lot of momentum. And if we look at that level chart, all of a sudden, the turning of the tides, there's a lot of green floating up towards the top. And Invoker, as we go back to one of those heroes that really benefits from a huge experience lead, and he's well on his way to getting it.
Yeah, and Invoker's very close to his sheep stick. Doom has his BKB up, and he has another 1,400 gold in the bank.
Yeah.
They could even do pretty well from this. Invoker scouting out the Roshan with the Sunstrike. Looks like they're going to go sit behind Weaver, though. They're actually going to start playing properly instead of just running around aimlessly. Yeah,
I was just thinking SSD may want to start thinking about getting some teamfight action. This Chen really hasn't accomplished a whole lot. He's got great farm. He's got pretty solid items so far. What does he have coming on the courier? Going to be
Ulti Orb.
The ultimate orb and the gem. So yeah, going to be working towards a sheep. But about time they start making some plays happen. And it looks like we could see a 5v5 engage up here at the top.
Yeah.
Reeves going in. Invoker going to start things off with a Meteor Deafening Blast. Going to be off the mark. Arise is off to the side. Mantis going to start things off with a lot of damage. Doom going to come out onto the Timbersaw. And there's the ultimate from Chen. Storm Spirit going to hop in, and it's looking good for the Dire side. SSD going to make it a 1-for-2 to start things off. Now it looks like they may want to continue pursuing forward. Centaur is out in the front lines, looking for a stun perhaps. No, not going to find it. There will be an ensnare coming out from the Dark Troll. But it ends up being just the Timbersaw. He was the Doom target, so it did make for a pretty easy kill in exchange for the Lesh and the Slark. Nice
Man,
fight
if that
for
Invoker
SSD.
had gotten that combo off a little bit earlier, they would have probably gotten 2 kills out of that.
Yeah.
Would have been a completely different fight, I think, because then it would have just been like Weaver, CM, and Chen left, because they probably would have killed off the Storm.
Yeah, Rise was in sort of an odd position. He was like in the secret shop over here. I hate that you can't draw on the map as a spectator when it's paused. You should really be able to use your control. Well, alright, you can draw on the map, but you can't draw like on the...
Yeah, you can't draw on the actual...
like in the screen.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rise was in sort of an odd position. It's sort of there's a couple of good Doom targets. Really, Weaver, Storm Spirit, and the Timbersaw are all really good targets to put the Doom on. So you
definitely
sort of just have to find the best position. Who can you lock down? And, well, they secure the kill on Timbersaw, but it opens up a lot of aggression for Rise. He'll poke forward. Going to use the Orchid straight away onto the Invoker. There's a nice CC chain from the Chen, but it will cost Chen his life. Amazing now going to fall as well. Still a great fight for SSD. A lot of buybacks coming for Next.kz. Rise will try to pour it out. Going to get interrupted by that level death. And
did they pick up the gem? Who got the gem?
Let's take a look. Looks like
Doom actually picked it up. So that was actually... Invoker bought out, man. If the Invoker didn't actually buy out there and just saved, that
so
would
did
have...
the Slark, too.
Oh, he actually bought out as well. Okay, well.
And had 2 buybacks.
Slark got a double kill, though, for it, so... That's probably worth it for him. So, I mean... I still give that actually went into the favor of Next.kz. SSD overextended.
Yeah.
Went for the kill on the Invoker. They got it at least, but now Invoker's actually going to have his sheepstick anyway off of all this, so...
Yeah. And they also hold the tower. The tower is very low, and they do manage to defend. So I would agree. I think Next.kz find the better of it. And the gem on top of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well worth it. Well worth the buybacks.
What was I going to say? Oh, no, I forgot. Oh, yeah. The Doom ultimate with also the Shadow Demon Purge. If anyone gets hit by both of those, they're super dead. Like, there's nothing you can do to get away from both of those ultimates.
Yeah.
It's miserable. It's quite miserable. And Weaver actually opts for a Deso. He still doesn't. And Zai goes for a Blink on this Timbersaw.
Yeah, alright. So we know Zai wants to play the initiation role and maybe try and take some pressure off of the Storm so he can sit back and do some damage. And I'm still surprised that Bone 7 going for such a greedy build here, but I guess he can get away with it. I think an investment into some good old-fashioned boots might be well advised, but in the mid lane, Equal going to be in trouble as they hop in. He is going to use that BKB, will keep him alive. Does have an ultimate up, not sure if he wants to burn it. Is going to use it on a Rise, will find the kill, and now he is going to try to make the escape. He's pretty speedy with that Scorched Earth, but Zai, he's got the Blink Dagger. He's going to show it off. Down goes Doom. That's going to end a mega kill streak, so a huge bounty going the way of the Timbersaw. But
oh
still,
wow, that was really... I thought he was gonna turn around and cut left because he had his team coming, but...
Oh, Pylite die, gonna get melted by the Sunstrike. Now Zai in trouble, he'll fall. That Edict just gonna cut through him. SSD sort of in shambles here. A 1-for-3 exchange, well worth their Doom going down as the team support comes in.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know, the Doom... That was a really strange way for him to run. He had his teammates coming on the left. I think if he had just ran left, he would have actually survived and maybe gotten the kills anyway. But the exchange actually ended up being very good for them anyway. So, and they recovered the gem again.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, that's true. Doom was the gem carrier, but they grabbed it themselves. So Next.kz looking good. The graph's starting to reflect it a little bit. SSD actually getting a little boost. Not sure it dipped down in their favor, but experience looking more and more positive for Next.kz as those core items are starting to come out. Lesh has that casual vitality booster, now going to be working towards a BKB. Sheepstick coming out on Invoker, and Doom going to grab himself a Vlad's Offering. And other than that, not too much progression on the side of SSD. We see a few more of those Ogre Clubs coming, one on Zai, and one on Arise playing Storm Spirit.
Yeah, Lesh actually has his full BKB already.
Oh, wow.
So
yeah, there it is. He's got enough for the recipe.
Quite well.
Yeah, gonna buy it right now. SSD maybe feeling up against the ropes. They will move into the Roche pit. It will be scattered out by the Radiant though. They've got a ward on the high ground here. Ironically enough, SSD do have a sentry down, but out of range of that high ground ward. Doesn't matter though. Roche gonna fall very quickly. The Desolator on Weaver makes it nice and easy. So Next.kz, although privy to it, not gonna be able to contest.
Doom picked up a Vlad's before as well, so and he has another 2k in the bag, so maybe he'll go for a AC.
Yeah, I think that would make sense.
Looks like Invoker is going for a BKB as well, so we're going to see a lot of yellow people.
Yeah. I like to see that. I'm glad this Lesh has been starting to turn it around a little bit. I always like it when Lesh is able to pick up a couple of kills and get a good bit of farm, because he's one of those supports that can really transition into a big damage dealer if farm allows. Now that he has BKB, he can man up a little bit, can start using that Pulse Nova a bit more, and just always exciting. I really like Lesh. I wish he got a little bit more love in the competitive scene. It's a fun hero.
It's because you're a Han fan.
Yeah, that's probably it. I know. I'm not a Han fan. I used to be a Han fan. Big difference.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Oh, come on, Fogged. I know you like Lesh. You can't lie about it.
Good God. Oh, Come With Me is actually going to get picked off here.
Yeah, he's in big trouble. Gonna get leashed. Will use the mech as the Sunstrike comes. He'll survive as he force staffs back. But does have the Hand of God up as well, so gonna be able to just burn that item. Not a lot was lost. They will be able to reinitiate here. Bone 7 still without boots, does have another Mithril Hammer. And it looks like they may want to pursue. Equal. Get a BKB as Arise hops in. Arise just trying to get out of range of that Doom ulti. He knows it's coming. And Equal, he's cancel casting. He wants it. Not going to use it. Going to save it for a later time. Now Reeves going to get pretty manly here. Both teams just looking for an opening. There's the Meteor Deafening Blast. Not going to be enough to save the Shadow Demon. He'll get caught left behind. And Arise. Nope, not going to find anyone as he zips forward.
Yeah, that was pretty smart by Equal actually holding on to the Doom, because not only does Storm have the Aegis, he also has, you know, the Chen send back and Hand of God and mech and everything. So, and Chen is actually about to be picking up his Sheepstick as well.
That is a big pickup for SSD, and once BKBs come out on Storm and Weaver, I think SSD will have a slightly easier time here. Weaver is actually what's coming on the courier. That is Weaver's BKB, so Bone 7 gonna have it, and Storm gonna be about 1,000 off. Those big items are starting to come out.
And those are sorry, that was close.
Oh.
But those BKBs are gonna be really, really good versus Invoker, because Invoker gets countered quite hard by those BKBs.
Yep. And now Equal. Maybe in a little bit of trouble here. Needs to be kind of careful. He does have the ulti up, but there's a lot of enemies nearby. Dire's courier has been picked off. The Doom ult comes out onto Zai. They'll be able to secure that kill. And it's just going to be a 1-0. Everyone else from SSD will just retreat.
That's nice, though. They just got the courier as well, getting a Timbersaw. So Timbersaw losing more and more of his Bloodstone charges, and now he's dead for 50 seconds.
He's only got 2 charges left. Oh, that hurts. And will slow down his BKB.
Yeah, and that was a level 18 Timbersaw that they just killed, too, so they got a good amount of experience.
Next.kz holding in there. The graph's still going in favor of SSD, but I guess a lot of that is because of the Midas advantage, a 2-0, or pardon me, 2-1 difference in Midas. And Roshan, I guess that helps out also. So SSD are continuing to find good farm, even though it's been kind of a while since we've seen a positive team fight going the way of SSD. Most of the exchanges have been a break even or in favor of Next.kz. So this Slark is starting to get pretty scary as well. He's got that not Scotty, he's got an ultimate orb. And
he picked up his BKB as well there. And Bone 7's BKB actually died on the courier there, so.
Oh, wow, you're right. Yeah, it was coming to deliver. I don't think Zai had his on the courier. I think he was actually still short for the recipe. But
yeah, he definitely, I think he still was. And yeah, Come With Me, he's level 16. He's got his Sheepstick up. He's got his 4-step. He's got his mech. Pylai Dai has his 4-step as well on the Crystal Maiden. And another 2,600 gold in the bank. What did Invoker just pick up? Are those travels? Yeah, Invoker picks up his travels.
Always a big item pickup on Invoker. Now the Rat Dota can kind of commence if that's what Invoker's interested in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to say that Next.kz has the better late game, per se, because I think SSD probably does because of the Storm, but Arise has kind of just been dying a lot, and he's falling really far behind, so I kind of have to give, if this game continues going on a lot, I have to give it to Next.kz, I think.
Yeah, I kind of agree. If they can continue to use this Doom ultimate as well as they have been and take a Rise or a Bone 7 out of the fight, I think they'll be in good shape. I'm starting to worry a little bit at the net worth chart, though. Weaver is about 3k ahead of everyone else, and even though Storm is much lower on the net worth chart, Weaver is a force to be reckoned with. And if they don't use the Doom on him and use it on Timber or the Storm Spirit, they don't really have a lot of other tools to try and lock down the Weaver, and I worry that Bone 7 will just start running amok in these team fights if they don't lock him down. But you're definitely right about that. They're doing well with their carry power, though. Speaking of the Devil,
And
Equal up
Doom.
top. He's about as dead as they come. That was a pretty easy kill there for SSD. In the mid, meanwhile, Reeves going to get engaged on. He will burn the BKB. Storm Spirit trying to pursue. Needs to be a little careful here. Support going to be inbound. They'll finish off the Lesh as well as the Shadow Demon. Now, what a fuck in trouble. He'll try and force Staff back, but he's going to fall. Doom going to buy back. Slark is going to survive. Gem going to be on the ground, but actually is Slark going to survive? He's in some trouble. BKB comes out. A few more auto attacks going to do it. Doom now going to be the lone defender as he did buy back. Will throw the ultimate onto Zai, but Zai will stand his ground. Now Slark going to buy back as well. All of a sudden, SSD, just an eruption of momentum. Gonna pick up a 1 for 5 and force 2 buybacks. Jeez. And get the courier. What? Whoa. Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah, wow. Zai actually, the amount of damage that he just unleashed with his Timber Saw was absurd. He just blinked in, did his full combo, and everybody was... Yeah, Mantis just gets hexed up by the Chen and just picked off almost instantly.
I mean, that's really, you get a tier 2 tower, a courier, a 1 for 5 exchange, and then force 2 buybacks. That's like literally the best situation in Dota I can think of. This graph is, look at the graph, it just took a 6,000 gold jump.
Yeah, that was
devastating.
That was like exactly what they needed to just pull completely ahead in this game, and that's got to make it really hard for Next.kz actually to pull out of this scenario now. Just 2 seconds to the next. Bone 7 actually basically just got 4,000 gold up on him right after that fight, so...
And there are the BKBs. Courier's back, so that's Weaver's BKB. Now going to have Crystallis, still without boots. And Zai has his BKB complete. We mentioned the Sheep Stick on Chen. And also Storm Spirit going to have one. So this is Black King Bar Gaming. 6 BKBs out on the field across the 10 heroes.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I've read 1 second that I underestimate the amount of damage potential from just the Storm Spirit and the Timber Saw. They do it and just wipe 3 people off the face of the earth almost instantly.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And it's the scary part about it is just how explosive it is, because the Blink Dagger on Timber Saw mixed with the Timber Chain, and then Storm obviously with the Ball Lightning, they can just hop in and all of a sudden you think you're safe, and then you've got 2 heroes on top of you that just like destroy your supports in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, and Lesh didn't even get a chance to get his BKB off. I mean,
I think he used it, but he was like...
He was basically dead already, yeah.
He used it when he had like 10% left. It was kind of a wasted charge.
Yeah. Doom's going to be picking up his AC pretty soon, but this is starting to... That one fight right there just made it look very, very one-sided.
Such a huge jump. They were slowly farming their way back, but literally like doubling their lead in terms of golden experience. And now SSD will be able to just... back up, finish up this next core of items. Looks like Lincoln's going to be coming out on the CM, and also a Lincoln's coming out on the Chen. So they're just going to try and Lincoln's the Doom away, make it impossible. There's not a huge amount of single target, I guess enough between Cold Snap, the Lightning, Purge, but they're going to make it difficult for this Doom to make it happen.
Yeah, he actually didn't even skill the Lightning, so...
Oh, really? Oh, man. Not even a single point? That's why he's going to want it now to try and break these Lincolns, that's for damn sure.
Yeah, probably. I mean, it's a pretty standard build we've been seeing on the Lesh. Whenever it's played. Yeah, people just go stats, get tanky up. I don't know, Lightning Storm just kind of seems like it's not really worth it once you get all those points in your stuns and your edict.
Yeah. I mean, the stats definitely do help, no doubt about it, but uh-oh, Mantis up top. Gonna try and engage on the Bone 7. Invoker gonna come in, but Invoker just gonna get turned around on. This Weaver is fat with a PH. And that was a failed gank if I've ever seen one. Weaver just going to be able to grab it and walk away.
Yeah.
He's now got a Daedalus as well to go with that BKB. He is just out of control.
Yeah, he's hitting like a truck now. And he still doesn't have boots. Of course. Taking notes from Master EE-sama. Zai's actually might get picked off bottom. Yeah, he gets caught with the Doom.
Uh-oh.
So he's going to have trouble surviving out of this.
But support going to be there. Chen going to come in with a Hand of God. That'll buy him a little bit of time. Arise going to pop in as well, but he is going to be forced to retreat. And they will make it out. Haste Rune down bottom. Going to be a small stroke of luck for Arise. We'll fill up the bottle as well. All the while, though, Weaver up top just doing some damage to this Tier 3 tower. That Desolator makes it pretty easy. And it might not fall here. Lesh is the lone defender for now. Bone 7, he's just going to man up. He's going to stand his ground. He will get that Tier 3 tower. This is when things get scary for Next.kz. Sure, they can still take team fights, but ouch. That Weaver can just rat Dota you down. Oh, or can he? I actually didn't see that. Why did he go back in? I thought he was...
He ran back in to just start beating on the racks again, and Slark actually was low-tharred behind him and pounced, and Lesh landed a max distance stun and clipped him with it, so...
That was my bad. I saw him get away, and then I looked away from the minimap and just totally missed it. I thought he was going to retreat. I really didn't think he'd run back in.
Yeah, that was a little strange, but
Very
that was
greedy.
definitely really very greedy.
Yeah.
And Lesh actually is opting for a Heaven's Halberd, and he's pretty close. He's been pretty on point with his Lesh stuns too. I'm fairly impressed by Reeves right now.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
An engagement.
Yeah, Crystal Maiden gonna survive, well, for a second, will fall after burning the freezing field. Now Mantis gonna pop the BKB. He's just trying to man up on Come With Me. He's gonna find it. Now Invoker gonna come in. There's that combo, the Deafening Blast and Meteor. Zai gonna get dropped as well. This swing of momentum all of a sudden after
Unreal.
Weaver fell. Next.kz gonna take a 4-for-0 across the map.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
0-7 just got completely melted. I think they're gonna get a Roche off of this, and Doom finishes up his AC. Oh man, this is devastating right now for SSD actually.
This is pretty
What is happening?
ridiculous. This is a pretty back and forth game. I keep thinking one team is going to be able to seal the deal, and then that happens. And you get a free Roche, and all of a sudden, Next.kz looking like they're right back in. It's still a pretty big deficit, but they will clear this tower. Going to be steps in the right direction, and might even be able to take another team fight. What's the buyback scenario here? Chen has it. Timbersol does not. CM does not either, but she'll be up here in just a couple of seconds. The
Yeah,
important
they
one
might
is
actually be able to get this
Weaver.
Rex, I think.
Yeah, this tier 3 tower looking like it's going to fall. Initiation forward. Arise going to pop the BKB, going to disable the Invoker. In comes Bone 7. BKB on and ready. Mantis taking a fair bit of damage. But Bone 7 forced the time lapse right
Meteor.
away. Oh, that Invoker! Oh no, Chen and Crystal Maiden just going to get destroyed by the Meteor. This is going to be a mid lane of Rax, and maybe more. No, nope, they have the tier 2 towers up in the other lanes. That's really unfortunate for Next.
That's brilliant. Yeah, I was about to say that's.
Now Zai gonna come in. Maybe they're overcommitting here. A lot of low health heroes on Next.kz. Invoker gonna fall. He'll buy back straight away. Now the Weaver actually gonna go down. He does still have a buyback if necessary. Gonna burn it straight away. And Next.kz will be forced to retreat here. They might be able to minimize their losses. Invoker with the BOT is gonna make it back into the action. Amazing. Yeah, he's gonna be dead. And more buybacks coming from SSD as well. So buybacks aplenty. They're trying to clean up these kills. Not gonna find it. And I would say a lot of wasted buybacks for SSD right there. The last few in particular, the Storm as well as the Chen. They're not going to get any recovery kills aside from the Shadow Demon. And I think their other lanes were safe complements of those tier 2 towers. So
That was a little bit of an overextension though by Next.kz. They could have backed
Sure.
out and saved themselves any deaths. The Invoker ended up buying out, and now he's actually
Look
well,
at
he's gonna
that
have his
gold graph
BKB
swing.
anyway.
Is under attack.
Yeah, it's unreal. And
That
Rise
is-
might actually get picked off right here.
oh no, Slark's going to get him. There you go.
Slark with a sheep stick.
Wow, smart choice. But they've got 2 sheep sticks now and the Heaven's Halberd. They've got a lot of control items. It's looking like Next.kz might actually be able to do this. I can't believe this gold graph. It went from 20,000 deficit to now only 5,000. That was a 15,000 gold swing following that fight. Same with experience.
Yeah, and they're running straight for that bottom tower again. So they're
Yeah.
actually gonna do a lot of damage to it. They actually will probably kill it.
Well, Storm had a dieback. His buyback now. He doesn't have enough gold and it's on cooldown. So this is a 5v4. Do they still have the Aegis? Was that burned already?
That was burned.
Yeah, it was burned. I missed it, but wow. And they also have the buyback advantage here. Slark and Doom also have buybacks available.
Yeah. Chen's getting pretty close to his Lincolns, but Crystal Maiden actually has his now.
Hand of God going to be coming up here. But here we go. This tier 3 taking heavy fire. The glyph is down, so SSD going to be forced to hold. Weaver going to get sheeped. The crowd control not going to be there. Doom saving the ultimate. Didn't want to put it onto the Lincoln's Weaver, but probably could have just gone for it. Now going to put the Doom on. Now that he's BKB, that's the end of the Weaver, and this might be enough to seal the deal. Weaver down for 115 seconds. He
This
is
has gotta
out of
be
the
game.
game. This is it. This is over. SSD's got nothing. Their buybacks are down. They've got 3 dead. They've got nothing to do. It's just a CM and a Chen. I can't believe it. I thought SSD were going to be able to take this game handily, but
How is this happening?
Next.kz with the turnarounds.
This is a pretty big throw, I believe, but
GG, well played. Look at that graph.
Oh.
20,000 back down to 0.
Dire's middle tower.
Next.kz.
they really
came
pulled
to
it out.
play. Well done. What an exciting game that was.
Yeah, that was actually. I mean, I think I still want to give the MVP to this Lush track. This guy landed like every single one of his stuns at such big moments. I don't know. Arise kind of dropped the ball after the great start that he had, but this Lush was on point, honestly.
Yeah, no, he really was. Ending 5-5 and 15.
Yeah, Lesh was on point. Doom got almost all of his Dooms off. He was pretty damn farmed. Slark was very farmed. He picked up a sheep stick. I think that was a great pickup as well. So
Yeah.
Next.kz just playing really well.
Crisp
Honestly.
execution, that's for sure. I thought that Weaver would be scary, but... Well, he was scary, but scarier. Whew. Well, awesome. Awesome blossom. So we've got one more game coming up for you guys. It is not set to start for another 2 hours. So we are going to queue up some tunes, have some fun. I believe Fogged is going to get the hell out of here. And our last match is going to be Fnatic versus the Retry here, coming up at 21 CET. So yeah, that's still a ways away. Fogged, my friend, always a pleasure. That's the end of me for Starladder Season 8 Round Robin, and I will not be at the LAN Finals. So we got to cast together a little bit. It was a pleasure, my man. Hopefully,
Yeah, man, it was definitely fun.
Hear from you again in the future. Good luck in your endeavors.
Yeah, you too. I mean, definitely we'll be trying to cast as much as possible, and I hope you enjoy yourself on your trip to Killington, because Killington's definitely a good time.
I will. I will try my best. Next time I shovel snow, I'll be thinking Fogged shovels snow.
Nice, man. Awesome.
All right, take care, guys. We got another game coming up in a few hours. Tunes coming your way. Thank you for joining us on Beyond the Summit. We'll see you in a few.
Remember to follow at FogDota.
Yes, at FogDota. It's in the title of this broadcast, at Zyori TV as well. Give Fog some love on Twitter, guys. He deserves it.
Sweet. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Everyone have a good day. I hope you enjoyed the cast.